Here at Cookies and Cream, we are gaming with a purpose. So don't be afraid to look yourself in the mirror and wake up.
Chris, what are you being so loud for, man? It's my nappy time.
It's the whole spiel. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea, CJ. My favorite thing in the world is cookies, and I absolutely love cream.
Cream's dope, dude. I've been saying that all my life. You know
What the hell is he doing here?
Oh, hey, Cody.
CJ has to bet, and he's also dumb. Even though he's blind, he's not very fun. He has his own talk show, it's every gamer's dream. It's a crazy little talk show, and it's called Cookies and Cream.
Chris, I don't understand why you let him into my house. You know I don't like him, and you know it's my nappy time.
It's okay. Have a water. Wake up. And you really need to hear this guy out. He's a genius.
Now what? What is all this equipment
He
for?
came over with an excellent idea of a podcast called Cookies and Cream.
Cookies and cream? A show about Oreos?
No, it's a show about video games and video game news. Besides, he also gave me this cool mug.
Nobody cares about mugs.
Well, listen, it's not just for me. He said he's going to bring all sorts of mugs.
Dude, he's making a mess in the house. This is my nappy time. Not only is he a mess maker, he's inconsiderate. Let's take a nappy.
Inconsiderate. He gave me this mug.
He has diabetes.
Cody, the mugs can change colors depending on the season and holiday. Here, you can have this one. I'll get another one from him. Just hear him
That
out.
makes it a little better. All right. Yes, you have 5 minutes.
5 minutes later.
Should you talk about Oreos?
It's a metaphor.
Dude, that's fucking stupid.
You like the mug?
Can I have the mug?
No. When is the last time you embraced your life and took a risk? It's not stupid. It's genius, right, Chris?
Not that long ago, I took a nappy, leaving Chris in charge. That was a risk. I think it's fucking stupid.
Genius!
Thank you. Let me give you a pitch of an episode. Tell me what you think. Ever read storylines on how movies do? It seems like every movie is the #1 movie in America. I mean, by that logic, I'm sure Cookies and Cream was the #1 podcast like maybe 37 minutes ago. Tangents aside, I was reading some taglines and saw some interesting articles for the previous Matrix movie and how it was a supposed financial flop. Personally, I thought it was alright. Unnecessary, but a solid popcorn flick. Interesting given the subject matter, merging the digital world with our physical one. Seriously, that's a pretty significant topic in today's social climate. What seemed alien decades ago has become mainstream fodder today. I can see your face on the telephone, ride my bike with no handlebars, and coexist in a virtually designed playground. Now, the tech is incredible, and despite being decades away from the realism of, say, Cortana in the Halo series, one must ask, what is the current status of virtual reality in our lives? Is it even necessary? Now, for the record, I have owned multiple VR units. My first dip into the VR market was back in college around 2017, where I was the only dude on campus with a PlayStation VR headset. Optics were cool, saw some demos for it, and luckily hit a goldmine bartending on a Saturday night, and I decided to purchase one. In brief, my original experience was not as cumbersome as I expected. But all in all, the gimmick of being first person watching others massacre me didn't stay a gimmick for long. Soon I was in situations where leaning around corners felt natural, gave me a competitive edge. I would sweat walking long distances. I could throw my digital golf club for sucking and not worry about paying for a new one. Fast forward to today, and you have so many options for VR on the marketplace. I personally own a Quest 2, and the experience of playing Resident Evil 4 for the 30th time felt new again, which I must admit is saying something. Even having a headless portable VR unit opens the opportunity for accessibility within and beyond gaming. Now, VR financially is an interesting beast. Meta, for example, had a reported net loss of roughly $230 billion, despite earning a profit from the Quest 2 headset of roughly $1 billion its first fiscal year on the marketplace. The investment in technology is scary nowadays, almost reminding me of the dot-com spurge in the late 90s, more so in how much misappropriated value is going on in the industry altogether. We see tech-based products only cost more and more to manufacture and ship post-COVID era, meaning that someone along the line is going to bite the bullet hard. Meta has already announced a markup of $100 on its Quest 2 model, and we are still patiently awaiting what low price Sony will have for its headset. I'm going to estimate $500, $600 easily. It's almost like companies that are participating in VR are stuck in this like VR battle royale niche bubble, hoping to land at like Tilted Towers for some legendaries. Hashtag if you know, you know. We have this dream that previous generations were fascinated by, and now the accessibility to use it is mainstream with a wide margin for cost of entry. So how have we used this tech? Let me turn to one of my friends, Dakota. Great guy, vastly smart entrepreneur, really out there in terms of his scope. Recently I saw him utilize VR for business meetings at his newest startup company. Holding investment meetings in a space like that is wild to even think happens. Is it most of the time? No. Has Pandora's box been opened to how we can integrate these headsets into society? You're dang skippy it has. I have experience managing marketing campaigns, and a lot of the time for one-on-one sessions, we'd talk analytics and structure philosophy while playing VR mini golf. You'd be surprised at honestly how much work we get done. I have seen schools now allow the usage of VRs in gym class. Think how exercise has been integrated, yoga, tennis, and much more all on your fingertips in virtual environments that you can switch over in a handful of seconds. You can be in Ecuador, north of the Atlantic, Alaska, Maine, Detroit, Paris, China, you name it. The immediate fear here is of the disconnect to the real world, which is entirely warranted. If NFTs taught me anything, it's that the average consumer is built to consume, but at the same time, battles being consumed by the wishes brought on by X product. Just like the Matrix Resurrection movie. See what I'm saying, Cody?
That's fucking stupid.
Let's take a second and be realistic here. If you look at reportings from Steam, roughly 2% of its user base has registered VR headsets. Back in 2020, Steam had roughly 120 million users, so the real estate leased by VR in the gaming industry is still niche at best. Outside of gaming, we are seeing many VR headsets aimed towards a jack-of-all-trades philosophy targeting VR films, sporting events, and anything you can possibly think of. Imagine getting to a point where applications like LinkedIn, Meta, Twitter, Instagram, Microsoft Excel, and so much more could all be accessed in a virtual environment, alongside voice recognition. Plenty of these mainstream apps already have beta periods active, but all of this, of course, is more so a draft and develop philosophy that I'm curious to see implemented. We have yet to see the long-term health implications as well for VR usage. Resolutions and field of view are still an interesting debate to be had. For example, a standard person's vertical view is roughly 180 degrees, while horizontal is 135. Many VR headsets are still messing with these metrics to better alleviate that VR motion sickness people get. But I digress. The point being, there have been so many times VR has been brought into our day-to-day. Remember when texting came out in the early 2000s? It was fascinating. People were so engaged on how to do it, but at the same time, the ideas for what people wanted to buy were not in the same line as where the tech was. And we're still seeing that in VR. Compare texting now, where it's so fast and autocorrect makes it to the point where people can text without even looking at the keyboard. What I'm trying to say here is that there's still that lack in the mainstream appeal of necessity. There hasn't been that it factor beyond what we dream to be a marvelous idea, and at times impactful in its execution. If there's one thing that the VR industry can learn from The Matrix Resurrection, it's that while the premise was once fascinating and otherworldly, today's society, with the advancements in technology, makes such ideas seem like the norm. VR needs to enhance its practicality, not rely on the imagination of the idea 10 years ago. Regardless of the future of VR, one thing is for certain: companies are still gonna try. How do you feel about virtual reality? Ever use it? Think it's a neat addition to our current tech consumer-based market? Or should it already be left in the rear view? Let us know in the comments section below.